Hi guys, so today one of our project was string art. String art is kind of another thing that can help us learn about organic shapes and whatnot, and another thing it can help us learn about is symmetry. If this is done right, you will have two symmetrical forms on either side of the page. And what that means is that each side will be perfectly similar. If we were to cut it down the middle, it would be exactly the same on this side as it is on this side. Another word for that is mirror image. So what we're going for is sort of a mirror image on each side. Our forms are not going to be representational of anything. Sometimes it can look kind of like flowers and whatnot, but we're not going to be making anything specific. We're just going to be experimenting with form and organic lines and symmetry. So what this project calls for is liquid watercolors. I do not have liquid watercolors, nor am I able to go get liquid watercolors at this time. So I'm just making my own liquid watercolors with a lot of water and, you guessed it, watercolors. So I've kind of been working on a deep purple here, lots of pigment. We need quite a bit of water to saturate the string, but we also need a lot of pigment so that it shows up. Okay, so I've got my purple going. I'm going to do a cool colored composition here. So I'm going to take this other cool color, green, move it over here. And I want you guys to try to use 2 to 3 colors in your string art. So you're going to prep 2 to 3 colors. If you followed my neurographic art video, you'll know that there won't be it won't be a good idea to put complements next to each other because that will make brown. So we're just going to focus on the cool color family for now. Okay, got some more water, a little bit more pigment. Do a deep blue over here. You guys can use the white palettes by the sink, so you can mix a lot of colors, or you can use these palettes as well. There's not as much room in these palettes. You don't have kind of the capability to make quite as many colors without cleaning it out, but this is what I've got, so this is what we're doing. Okay, fold your paper in half like this. Fold it back. We've got a string here, okay? It can vary in length, can vary in shape, and we're just going to go for it here. So I'm going to get part of this string kind of saturated with this purple. I might need to use my brush to kind of aid me in this endeavor since I don't have the right supplies here available at home. I noticed that I kind of don't have enough pigment in this one, so I'm going to kind of saturate it with some more. Okay. We're going to go into the blue. This is messy, but that's what art's about, is making a mess, having fun, and being creative. So we're not going to worry too much about the mess. Take your string. We're going to just lay it out kind of however we deem would look best. Close our paper. We're going to grab the end of this string. Okay, we're going to pull it out. Maybe give it a second to dry since it's a lot of water. We don't want it running all over, ruining our symmetry. And there we have it. We've got 2 symmetrical forms, non-representational, which means it looks like nothing in life, such as my kitty, for example. Kind of representative of an iris or a flower, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. If we cut this object in half, or if we cut this paper in half, we've got the exact same things in the exact same spot. Everything is perfectly symmetrical. So I'd like you guys to experiment with that. After you've done one with 3 colors, I would like you to try a relief. In order to do a relief, you're going to use oil pastels, which are waxy oil based. They resist water. So these 2 mediums are going to resist each other. Okay. And we're just going to try this on the other side for the sake of supplies, the sake of time. I'm going to kind of do what I did in the neurographics, and I'm going to put in some organic shapes. You don't have to do this. You can go in and you can do, you know, triangle, something like that. Whatever floats your boat at this time. And we're gonna lay down this wax, really sort of thick wax. We're gonna lay down the oil pastel thick so that it resists the water and the water can't seep into our forms that we're making, okay? And then we're gonna go ahead and try relief. So I'm gonna try this again, kind of get saturated in my purple here, saturated in my green, and part of my string saturated in my blue. It's gonna be different this time because I've saturated different parts, and I'm gonna lay down my string in a different sort of format. Put this down here. Fold this over. Press. Get under here, pull the end of the string. Pull it out. A little bit less visually stimulating to me, but what I wanted you to learn with this one is that this is called a relief. We use two different materials that resist each other. So we have oil pastels, crayons work too, and watercolor. They resist each other. So the oil pastel sticks out and the watercolor cannot cover it up. So instead we end up with our form, our symmetrical form, kind of in the background of the design we did with our oil pastels. So I want you guys to try out the relief. One thing that I think I did wrong here was I didn't give the paint enough time to dry. I might have been a little bit too water heavy in my paint. Next time maybe I will just paint directly onto the string instead of saturate it in the water, because I kind of ran into a runny mess, and this one was a lot more successful. All right guys, thanks for watching. Have fun.